Hi, my name's Taryn. I'm 18 years old, and I recently put myself into an intensive outpatient drug rehab type thing. And I was kind of talking about how I wanted to go to schools and talk about how drugs have affected me in my life. Well, someone in the group suggested to me that I make a video instead to talk about everything that I've been through, because my story really touched some people in that group, and a lot of these people are older than me too, so it touched a lot of people, and I'm hoping that it can touch people my age or people older or whoever, just to kind of get a wake-up call and kind of open your eyes to the reality of things. So here's my story. I've been a drug user since the age of 14. I just started off with pot and then inhalants, and I kind of went to everything after that. My freshman year I tried heroin for the first time. Never really did coke until much later. I was just always really a big pot smoker. I tried alcohol the first time when I was 12, and just kind of escalated from there. But my freshman year, like March my freshman year, I got a boyfriend for 2 years, and we didn't do anything for like the first year and a half that we were together. And that was our rule for each other, we couldn't do anything. And then we started to drink a little bit, and then we started smoking pot all the time. Well, then he ended up breaking up with me after 2.5 years of dating, and I met another guy, and he introduced meth to me. So I got kind of caught up in all that, and then I ended up going to jail because of him, because he was breaking into cars and stuff. So I caught my first misdemeanor charge a month after I turned 18, and I decided I wanted to stay clean and sober after that. And I started hanging out with people and going to bonfires and stuff and partying again and drinking, but I wasn't using drugs, just drinking, and started having a lot of fun that I never really had before. And then I met a guy that I ended up marrying at a bonfire, and I moved in with him after 2 weeks of knowing each other, because I came home one night and all my stuff was gone. Like, where's my stuff? So my mom and her boyfriend kind of were playing games with me to try to get me to come back in line, and I didn't want to follow their rules, so I just left. And then after a few months of being with that guy, we got married, and he had been a heroin addict previously, so he was on methadone, and he was prescribed some other types of drugs by his doctor, but he wasn't on very many at that point. And we would trade the methadone for like Xannies and stuff sometimes, and New Year's we bought a lot of drugs, and that's the first time I shot up coke, first time I shot up anything, and I love the feeling of it. So after that, it became kind of a normal thing for that month, and then we started getting sick because our bodies just couldn't handle it. So we stopped for a while, and then I got a job. So I didn't do anything because I had a job, and I didn't want to go to work like that. And after a while, we had to move out of his mom's house because she lost the house, and we got our own place at like the Suites, which is like a weekly thing. So we were living there, and we were doing okay for a while. This was like April. Come May, we started meeting people. Well, our next door neighbor was a meth dealer and meth addict, and the people below us, they were heroin dealers, so we had best of both worlds right there. So we started using drugs on and off again, and he started using them kind of behind my back. Like, I had an idea of what was going on, but I never really confronted him to that point because I didn't want to be realistic about it, because his money would vanish, and we wouldn't have enough money to pay for bills. I'm like, hey, where's the money going? So that was our biggest problem right there, was money. And I never really confronted about him like I should have. Well, he ended up going to jail a lot because we lived in the Suites, and you have to register your ID, and it goes through a system with the police, and if you have warrants or anything, they come pick you up, they know where you're living and everything. So we got picked up like 5 times. So the last time I bailed him out, I'm like, I don't want to live here anymore, like, we gotta get the fuck out of here. So I surprised him when he got out with a new apartment that was like half the price of what we were paying there, and it was really cute. We were really excited. Well, the day that we moved into our apartment, we had been on meth and stuff the night before, and that morning we moved all of our stuff in that morning, and I had to go to work in the afternoon. Well, I did something stupid at work, and Secret Service came in and took me away for theft and burglary and all this stuff because I was on drugs and I wasn't thinking clearly, and I made probably one of the biggest mistakes of my life. Well, I started getting really sick in myself because I had a feeling something was wrong with my husband. I just had that gut feeling. It's like when someone has a kid, they can like sense when something's wrong with them. We had that kind of connection. So I had my mom bail me out. I'm like, Mom, we need to go to the apartment. There's something wrong with him. I know there's something wrong. Well, I didn't get to go to the apartment the night I got bailed out. I had to go the next day. Well, I couldn't get the door open. I could get my key in, but I couldn't get the door open because we had the burglary thing on the door. So I had to basically break the door down myself. And when I got in there, I didn't see him. Like, okay, where is he? Like, there's no way he could not be here. So I'm walking around the apartment, and I'm standing between the kitchen and the living room, and there's like a little wall that blocks the kitchen. You can kind of see into the entryway. Well, I see his feet, and I walk over in there, and he's like doing this seizing thing. There's blood and vomit on his face, and he's all gray, and his eyes are halfway open, and I start panicking, and my mom's boyfriend's there, and he calls 911, and they take him into the ambulance. Well, I guess in the ambulance he went into cardiac arrest, so they had him at one hospital and they transported him to another one because he was so unstable and needed so much attention, so they put him in ICU. And then for 3 days, the doctors couldn't really tell me what was going on, so I was very, very hopeful that he would come out of it. Well, the third day that he was in the hospital, the neurologist told me they got him stable enough for a brain scan, and he's brain dead. So I signed papers to have the machines turned off. Lots of friends and family were there. My mom was there, his mom was there, friends were there, and we all basically said our goodbyes and watched him die right in front of us. So I kind of went on a downward spiral after that. I couldn't really handle it. I didn't cry that much. I was just very numb. And this was in June, so this was not very long ago. And I started numbing myself with alcohol and drugs again. Started partying a lot. And I woke up one day, and I couldn't remember what I had done the night before. And I'm like, I can't live like this anymore. This is not living. I probably made a fool of myself last night. I had to ask 10 people what I did, because they were all trash too, and got bits and pieces of what had happened. And I'm like, this is unhealthy. What am I doing to myself? I'm going to end up going back to jail. I'm going to kill myself. So I had to go to intensive outpatient anyways for court. So I signed myself up earlier and just started knocking off the sessions one by one, and it has done wonders for me. I mean, getting to talk to the people that are in the group that are going through the same things as you is amazing. You do have a teacher who asks for input and stuff and puts his input, but you also have people much older than you, same age as you, a little bit older than you, going through the exact same thing, whether it's alcohol, whether it's pills, whether it's heroin, meth, whatever. They're all going through the same thing. So it's really encouraging, and we're like a big family, like a big support group. So I've learned a lot from the group, and it's really made me realize like how sad it is to see these kids that are still on these drugs. Like, it really hurts me because I have close friends and stuff that I really, really care about that are still on this stuff. And when I see them like that, it breaks my heart because there's nothing I can do. I have no control over it because they have no control over the disease because they don't want to admit that they have a problem. And if they have admitted that they have a problem, they've gone back to the problem again. So I feel really helpless, and it's really sad to watch someone basically kill themselves very slowly. And it's sad when you're really, really close to somebody, and when they're not on it, they're funny, and they're laughing, and they make you happy, and they make you smile, but then when they're on it, they're an asshole, or a bitch, or crazy, or incoherent, or passed out. I mean, it's sad. It really is sad, and I feel like if I got a chance to talk to all the teens in the world that are on drugs, I would tell them that please just fix yourself now before you get to the point that I got to, where you lose someone you care about, or you lose yourself, or you lose your family, or you lose everything you worked for, or you hurt somebody else, or you go to jail. Like, you don't want to go to that point. You don't want to hit that rock bottom. Being a drug addict is rock bottom enough, but losing everything in 3 days is beyond anything I've ever imagined. That's shit I only see in movies, and it happened to me. Like, I used to think, that can't happen to me. That only happens to, like, 1 in a million. Yeah, but it doesn't happen to just 1 in a million. If you sit there and actually talk to people and listen to things that have happened to people, they've gone through some pretty fucked up shit too. But being on drugs increases your chance of failure so much more. And I just want teens to know, and adults to know, and young adults to know, and whoever to know, that you can always give yourself a second chance, that there is always another chance for you to be happy, and you to be sober, and you to actually have a reason to live, and you to set goals that you need to set, or fulfill the dreams that you once had before you were on drugs. Like, I want to do hair. I want to be a hairdresser. I want to open my own shop one day. I have that chance again now because I'm not a drug addict. I don't have something holding me back. I don't have something overtaking my life, and that's not my top priority anymore is drugs. It's not my top priority. My top priority now is just staying clean and getting all my court stuff done with, finishing my IOP, going to school, getting a job, saving up for a car, moving out again eventually when I'm stable enough and have enough money. I mean, those are all realistic goals. You being a drug addict and trying to function daily, that's unrealistic. You may think you're fooling everybody, but people know. And people are trying to reach out to you, and most of the time you're pushing them away, or you're just ignoring it. So I want teens to know that there's always another chance. There's always someone out there willing to help you. There's always a place you can go to get help, whether it's a church that'll help you, or a sober house, or intensive outpatient, or inpatient, or NA and AA meetings. You can go anywhere. You can do anything. Just ask for help, whether it's through a friend, whether it's through family, whether it's through a stranger. Anyone will be willing to help. If you want anyone on here, you can message me on YouTube. You can ask me for my Facebook account, whatever. And you can message me about any problems you have, and I have packets and stuff that maybe I can email to some people that are about drug addiction, that's a family addiction, all this stuff, just ways to deal with it, ways of coping. I'm always willing to talk, so if you have a friend out there that needs help, you need help, family member needs help, get them help, get yourself help, give yourself a second chance, please. And I hope this video has helped anyone at all. I've probably just been ranting about everything for like 15 minutes, but I really just feel like I need to put this out in the open. And you guys can bash me for this video, or you can praise me for this video. Either way, I don't care. I just feel like it needs to be put out there, and anyone that needs help, feel free to message me, comment me on my YouTube account, and I'll do my best to give you some advice and maybe give you some pointers on where to get help, depending on where you live, what state you live in, etc. So I hope this has helped, and please, guys, just get help, okay? Just stay clean and help yourselves. Everyone out there has someone that cares about them, and I care about teens and what they're doing to themselves, because I don't want anyone to end up like me. So just keep moving forward and stay off drugs. Thank you.